Today, we're talking all about best practices when it comes to a smooth promotion season.
Hello and welcome to the Ministry Coach Podcast, where we bring you weekly tips and tactics to help you amplify the impact in your youth ministry. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Jeff Lascola, and this is
Kristen Lascola.
And make sure you guys stick around to the end, where the question of the day is going to be a really polarizing one.
Ooh.
And we would love to hear your responses.
I don't even know what it is.
You'll love it too. Actually, you'll probably hate it.
Surprise.
But today's episode is all about transitioning up from one class level, is that the best way to describe it, to the next?
Yeah, we call it promotion now, not transition anymore. So we're going to call it promotion.
Okay.
And that is when the fifth graders turn into sixth graders and the eighth graders turn into freshmen, and how to do it well, because it can be sort of a make or break time for some students, especially those that have gotten really comfortable in a particular ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they're in a brand new class. And to me, one of the most tragic things is having a student who loves church, is so plugged in, so involved, core student, and then they go up to the next grade and they fizzle.
Yeah.
And you know, for years and years and years, I thought about it of like, why does this keep happening? And not that it still doesn't happen. Unfortunately, not every student transitions and gets stuck in the next ministry and really loves it. But I've seen our promotions improve throughout the years, but it hasn't been without a lot of intentionality and a lot of strategy to it.
Coordination between pastors.
Exactly. And so that's what we're going to talk about today is what I think are the best practices, just examples from what I've done, and I'm willing to tell you about it. So if you like it, feel free to use it. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. Totally up to you, but just something that's helped us in our context. So, you know what I realized? I say context a lot.
What a random word to pick up
well,
on.
sometimes when I listen to the playback, I'm like, context, in the context. So stupid.
Sure is stupid if you say it that way too.
Context. Word of the day. Every time I say context, you get to have a piece of chocolate.
Okay. I'll keep a counter going. Ready, go.
I'm talking to the listeners, not you.
Okay. For them, I will keep a counter going.
For them, I will keep the counter. I wonder if anyone's ever said that sentence before. For them, I will keep a counter.
I don't really know or care. So moving on.
I'm really tired. Okay, so let's do this. The key for me is start communicating early. So I used to think of promotion as I'd start talking
the
to
week
the
before.
fifth grade, parents in May, because that's when promotion is kind of getting started. So we promote technically like usually around June 10th, whatever weekend that falls closest to, June 9th and 10th. This year, I think it's 11th and 12th. So that's our official promotion weekend, where every grade will move up to the next. But I like to look at that date and then start working backwards of when do certain things need to be put in place. So let's start from like the furthest thing that needs to be communicated. So right after summer camp, I like to book my dates for the following year. And I don't communicate them right away, right when I get them. But I would say like when school starts, that's when I usually start communicating my summer camp dates. And what I used to do was just to the middle schoolers, but then I thought to myself, wait a minute, one of these classes isn't even going to be here.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I'm communicating this to the current fifth grade parents. So I'd say right when school starts, I would just kind of say, hey, I know this seems like a long way off, but if you're a type A or super organized like me, you are already planning your summer vacations. Keep us in mind because we're going to camp these dates. So that'll be like when school starts. Then I might check in again with them like around Christmas time and say, hey, Spring is around the corner. Looking forward to meeting your student. Don't forget to keep July 7th through the 14th on your calendar for summer camp. And then I'll do one more push in the spring, probably about March, to give them one more reminder of camp. So then the last one I do is when signups are actually going live. So our summer camp signups are going live tomorrow, April 12th. And so last week I gave them a head start. I said, hey, Tuesday's the day. Summer camp signups are going live April 12th. And the cool thing is now this is not the first they've heard of it. So they've now heard of it 3 times before they actually have to pull. Wait, what? Where are they going? Oh no, it's in like a few days.
They'll do that anyways though.
Well, I'm giving them a better shot at organization, I guess, because it's a big financial commitment and it's a big time commitment. And so just to be kind of sprung on you, then you're like, oh, I better talk to my spouse. And like, what are we doing in July? And then sometimes it's like just overwhelming and then nobody does anything with it. So communicate those dates early and then you already have a little drop line of communication with them, which is good. So hopefully the high school ministry is doing the same thing for you, or if you're combining, then you don't have to worry about it, or make sure if you're the high school pastor, you're doing the same thing for those 8th grade parents. All right.
But even if you were combining, you would still be talking to the 5th graders coming up.
Yep. So, exactly.
Or 6th going into 7th, depending on how you might do that split.
Mm-hmm. And so another thing with that is you want to present opportunities for them to get involved if you're looking for that. So if you need parents as small group leaders, if you need parents as drivers, if you need parents as medics, security, whatever it might be, that is a really good time to ask. I don't know about your summer camps, and until I did the whitewater rafting trip, I never had parents asking or offering to go. But once we started doing the whitewater rafting trip, a lot of parents wanted to go. Number 1, I think because it's fun, but number 2, because they are a little uneasy about it. And so they want to be a chaperone. I say, awesome. If you want to chaperone, here are some options for how you can do that. You can drive your vehicle and, let us use that. If you have any medical experience, you can be our medic. If I give them some options of how to work out. So you could include that in the email as well if you're looking for maybe supplies for camp or drivers for camp, anything like that. All right. And then other than camp, what you want to do in April is give them your promotion dates and any other pertinent dates for that. So meaning I told you before, our official promotion weekend would be June 11th and 12th. But we rewind a little bit and do a promotion event for the kids coming up. So we let them start coming to our midweek program on Tuesday at the end of May. So this is before they've officially promoted on the weekends. So we do a 3-week event called the Royal Rumble, Kings versus Queens. And it's like basically a boys versus girls event, but we can't call things Battle of the Genders anymore because that just opens a whole can of worms. So we call it the Royal Rumble, Kings versus Queens, and it's 3 weeks where they compete. And every week we do like a fun food item like cotton candy, and then we do root beer floats, and then we do a nacho bar or something like that. And then we play fun competitive games. That was the key that I learned with the youngers coming in. So they're still 5th graders. And my version of competition is like dun 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 dun, like jousting,
Spite him.
helmets and jousting and music and fog and like epic music from a movie or something. Yeah. That was overwhelming to them, and they were very scared. And then
sirens and lights going off,
air raid sirens. I like you to feel like you're in battle. But I realized, they're little, and that was very scary for them. So we do very lighthearted competition in the spring, and I save the intense competition for the fall once they've been here for a little while and they know we're crazy, but they're more comfortable. So keep it fun, keep it exciting, lighthearted, and have some fun food. And then we do messages along with that. So the first night of the Royal Rumble, which means the very first night that they're invited to come on a Tuesday, that is when we have our parent orientation meeting. We did a whole episode on that. What number was it, Jeff? Off the top of your head.
My head
3, 2,
90
1.
something.
episode 90 something, go back and look at it. And that'll show you how we do the parent orientation meeting. That is geared towards incoming students of the previous grade. But I also invite, hey, any parent who is new to the ministry and just wants to get to know me and the staff and why we do what we do, they are invited to come to that as well. So those dates need to be communicated in April. All right, now let's go to what we do with the students. Because, I mean, we talked about Royal Rumble, but how do we promote well with them? Because most of what we've been talking about so far, I feel like has been geared toward parents. So with the students, I like to do something called Teach Down. And I think that's a really dumb name for it.
How about Talk Down?
I'm going to talk down to you today. What's different? Nothing. So Teach Down, it's basically the high school pastor is going to come and guest teach in middle school. And the middle school pastor is going to go and teach down to the fifth graders or fourth and fifth, however you have it split. If you have a children's ministry that's like K through 5 all in one room, I would recommend seeing if you can coordinate with the children's pastor to say, could I just take the fifth graders and come into like a room and I just teach them? So if you have middle school and high school combined, they're not really going anywhere. So they already know you, but this is for if you have your ministry split. So the pastor,
you could still do that though. You're just needing someone to fill in for you for the 6th through 12th grade, and you would go down to 5th grade.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
there's no junior high going.
Yeah,
up.
like 8th.
But you could still same concept, but you would just be talking to the 5th graders, and that would be it.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. So you go down and kind of, I think,
talk down
to them. The idea here was let's get on their turf.
Yeah.
First before we ask them to come to our turf, and then they get to know us in an environment they're already comfortable in. And there's 2 things I really like to do with this time. Number 1, I show the summer camp promotion video, get them all hyped up, and I pass out I keep saying winter camp, summer camp flyers and summer camp permission slips. And then the second thing I talk about is the Royal Rumble. And I have a promotion video for that. It's really fun. I show that and they get all excited for the competition, and I hand them flyers for that. And I tell them, you got to come. I can't wait to see you guys on a Tuesday night. And then I give a message of just, usually I talk about the verse where it says that the church and the body of Christ kind of exists to spur each other on toward love and good deeds. Like the point of church being fellowship and family, and how like you have your physical family, but the church is your spiritual family. And that's how we thrive in our faith. And so you're going to have an opportunity to get more plugged into church than ever before, because our K through 5, they don't have a midweek program. I know some churches do. So I kind of use that as leverage. Like, guys, now you're not even just going to church on the weekend. You're going to come to church on a midweek, and it's going to be a program just for you. And this is another way, another tool for you to like, you know, be absorbed into the family of God, to grow in your faith, to meet other Christians, to have so much fun. So that's sort of where I direct that message for them.
And if any of you are thinking, we don't have a promotional video to show, you could, well, if you do have footage
Jeff
of your,
make you one.
Yeah, I'll make it for you.
Tell them everything you want. Don't hold back.
I have Steven Spielberg at my disposal. We'll make it look amazing. No, but if you do have footage from your past summer camp, you can turn that into kind of like a hype video. If you don't film your summer camps, my tip would be to start filming your summer camps to be able to use as promotional items for the next year.
You can steal ours. Just say it's your camp. Be like, look at us.
It might be a little different. This is a previous class. You wouldn't know these faces.
chaosjh.com. It's all on there. Okay, so that's like the teach down. And then you can schedule a preview weekend. And that's when they come up and just sort of do like a visit to your class before promotion. So you can just have like, I'll just have the 5th graders come in for one weekend, and it's just sort of like get their feet wet, and their leaders come in with them, their teachers come in with them, so that, they have adults who they know and they feel a little more comfortable, but it's like just that initial like, hey, this is going to be your new class and this is kind of how it runs and stuff like that. So you can choose to do one or both of those. If you're only going to pick one, I would say do teach down. And if you have an extra weekend to do, you could do that preview weekend. Or sometimes what we do for preview weekend is they just join us for a game. So they don't join us for the entire message and everything like that, but we'll have the 5th graders come in and we'll all play a fun game together, and then they'll go back to their room. And it's kind of like one more step in them getting, up to the next level. Alrighty. So then what I like to do, and I feel like this is a little extra, but I don't mind doing it. And it's actually, I think, a big impact for very little cost, is I get a list of all the 5th graders who are going to be moving up to our ministry. And I like to, me and my staff, write them welcome postcards. And postcards are great because there's not a lot of room to write. You got to keep it short. Yeah. So I have postcards printed with my ministry logo on it and our return address. And I'll just say like, hey, Maddie, I'm so excited you're moving up to 6th grade. We can't wait to meet you. Hope you can join us for the Royal Rumble coming up. And that's about it. You could say some variation of that. And it's kind of fun to get a piece of mail,
especially that age.
I know, like a postcard just for you. That's kind of fun. And it's handwritten. So they know it's not just some generic thing, even though we say pretty much the same thing to everyone, but still we took the time to write your name and all of that. And then one thing that so this is most of what we've been talking about has everything to do with the kids coming into your class. And we're only going to touch a little bit on this because we could do a whole episode on like graduation. Like, what do you do for your outgoing class? Mm-hmm. And I don't think I can tackle all that in this one episode. But one thing I will mention that I'd love to do is so my 8th graders, when they go up to high school, they meet on Wednesday nights, same time, same place. It's just Wednesday night. So that first night, like their very first night at the high school group, me and all the 8th grade leaders will join them. So when they show up, there's at least a few familiar faces there, and they know other students too, but at least if they feel stuck or scared or nervous or insecure, me and the 8th grade leaders are there and we'll sit with you. We'll hang out with you. And I was just thinking of that. You can't sit with us, but we will let them sit with us,
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Okay.
You've never even seen that, have you?
No. I only watch good movies.
That's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe it is good.
It's hilarious. So anyways, yeah, that's just one little extra thing to do of like, hey guys, we're all going to be a high school group. I hope you can make it. It's going to be so fun. Your first time, blah, blah, blah. So it gets them a little more, just makes them less nervous, I guess you could say. And I would even do a barbecue before, like at the high school group. Like I would bring the stuff and just do a barbecue and be like, hey, why don't you guys come an hour early? We'll barbecue, we'll have dinner, and then we'll all go into church together.
Just for the incoming 9th graders or for everybody?
No, just for the...
Really?
Yeah. Doing a barbecue.
Do you then look at the high schoolers and say, you can't eat with us?
You can't sit with us! Well, actually, we do it early. So it's like... So youth group starts at 7 for high school. So I'd come at 6 and I'd barbecue for the kids. I mean, not me personally, but someone.
I know people.
I know people who can grill. I actually can grill, despite what you may think.
Cool.
I just want you to know that.
All right. Okay, so that then wraps up sort of everything you were going to be doing for promotion. So that wraps up promotion. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, though, next week, what we're going to be talking about, so make sure you watch the next episode, is all about what? Continuity, correct?
Yeah, which is a really interesting concept, I think, that you brought up. And it's something I have observed and felt, but never really quite put words to. But yeah, we're going to talk about continuity between ministries. Right. And I think that's under the umbrella of promotion and how to do that well. And it starts long before. It's more of a cultural thing,
Right.
cultural continuity within your church, within your ministries. And we're going to talk about that next week.
Yeah. All right. So the question of the day, which you don't even know yet,
I'm so excited.
is this is a nationwide issue
Is on your side.
and is very polarizing, especially amongst youth pastors. Youth pastors.
You put the wrong emphasis.
Okay. Put these in order.
Okay.
Best to worst. Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Whataburger.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Pretend for a second you're not a
Easy.
high horse vegan.
I am. I'm better than you.
Back when you used to eat anything
I know.
and everything.
That's not why I said
Okay.
wow, because this is so
But
easy.
you liked some of those.
I know,
Okay, you
it's
acted like they were
easy.
all awful.
No,
Okay.
only one is awful.
Number one, your best choice.
Number one is In-N-Out.
Number two is
Chick-fil-A.
and number three, Whataburger.
Number three, is blank. Number four is blank. Number five is blank. Number 20.
There's only three.
28 is
All
Whataburger.
right. Make sure you guys put what your choice is in the comments below. Mine, I'm gonna
Ugh,
be
I already know what you're
I'm
gonna.
gonna be a pill, and I'm not going to go with my West Coast people, and I'm gonna put Chick-fil-A, I think, number one,
Okay.
Whataburger 2, In-N-Out 3. Sorry for everybody on the West
There
Coast.
is no way Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. I'm sorry. There is no way. It tastes just
like
so.
it tastes like an actual hamburger is the thing.
In-N-Out is.
In-N-Out is good. I'm not saying it's not good, but I just personally, my opinion of this matter is that Whataburger, and maybe it's because I haven't had it as many times, but it's been good experiences when I have. I'm gonna put that ahead of In-N-Out.
I guess we're all allowed to have our own opinion.
Even if they're wrong. All right, let's do a community comment of the day. This comes from
Okay.
Kaylina Carlson, who writes...
Did you say Kaylina?
Kalina. Kalina Carlson, who writes, love this podcast.
And it says it right there.
Yeah, you have to sing the third one. It is.
Shakira.
That's not what it says at all. But it does say, love
Too far.
this podcast. It has helped me grow my youth ministry and as a youth pastor. Wonderful. Thanks so much, Kayleen. I appreciate it. Sorry I
Kalina.
butchered your name. It's kind of like par for the course when I do those. Hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this channel. If you're listening on a podcast, anywhere you're listening on a podcast, if they allow comments and reviews, please go ahead and give us one. It helps us to show up in search results, supposedly. I don't know if that's true. But anyways, we love hearing from you guys. And make sure you guys stick around for the next episode, which is all about the continuity between your ministries to keep that momentum going, which is so vital in youth ministry growth.
Gold.
I was going to hope you're going to let that one slide, and you didn't. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.